The following podcast contains strong language and ridiculous cartoon scenarios conjured up by two self-proclaimed comedy wizards. Between you and me, they're more like Saturday morning court jesters fueled by sugary cereal. But either way, the opinions expressed and presented are mere musings, so please humor their well-intentioned hijinks with a laugh and not by taking anything they say seriously. Unless, of course, you want to pay them to say something else. Could always use a new pair of shoes.
Hello and welcome to ReviewParty.com. I'm Brent.
I'm Matt.
This is a podcast that's on the internet. I bet you would like to hear about it. Well, we got comedy in it. We got reviews in it.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty cool. Reviews from like Amazon, Kmart.com. Really get a lot of those from the archives. Yelp. All the big names. All the biggest names in reviews
I guess that's it.
and the internet. Yeah, and that's kind of it.
That's pretty much, yeah, I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say, because everything we say is funny. So when we're trying not to be funny, it's really hard to find stuff to say. You know, that's kind of the comedy podcaster's dilemma. The psychologists and philosophers talk about it quite a bit. It's the whole, Pagliacci can't go see Pagliacci the clown because he is Pagliacci the clown.
Pagliacci?
What's his name? Pagliamatti?
Pagliacci?
No, Paul Giamatti? You can't go see Paul Giamatti if you're Paul Giamatti. That's kind of what's hard about it for him. But if I don't know anything about Mr. Giamatti, it's that the man loves a pizza. So I have a review from Amazon for the Hans Grill Pizza Stone, a rectangular pizza stone for oven baking and barbecue grilling with free wooden peel, extra large, 15 by 12 inch durable corduroy cooking stone. Cook a pizza on it. I don't know. Nice. So yeah, it's not funny.
I like buying rocks on rocks for various purposes.
Oh yeah, this is my oven rock.
This
is my filtering rock. These are my energy rocks.
This rock, I rub it on my feet, makes them nice and soft.
This is my soft rock.
A soft foot rock.
This is my hard rock. We call them Nickelback. But don't take it from us. Take it from Believer. They titled their review, "Finally, a brown bottom crust." This pizza steel works great. Cleanup is always a challenge on pizza stones and steels, and it is heavy to maneuver, mostly for my wife. But I'm very satisfied with the results and glad I bought it. This will provide a lifetime of great brown crusted pizza. Crispier crust than a typical pizza stone 5 stars.
I think it actually can provide more than a lifetime because it's a rock. Or did he get? He said steel. So are they selling metal things as well as just rocks?
I think they are using the pizza stone name, but yes, this is perhaps a pizza steel.
A heavy duty, like a cast iron. You know? This is an old regular. This is a beefy pan.
Right. It's shaped like a pizza rock, a pizza stone. Excuse me. Let's call them pizza rocks. It's shaped like a pizza rock, but I think it's a big hunk of steel or something.
It's a big old like Chuck E. Cheese token. It's somebody. It's just like a sewer drain. Okay.
Yeah, it's just if this guy bought like a sewer part, like a part
from
of a
Neenah,
wall.
Wisconsin. We gotta love it. Okay, even that's gonna last a long time. You pass it on to your children; they have a lifetime of a crisp brown crust.
Right, you take care of it. Right, you dry it after you clean it. Don't let the rust set in. There could be a millennia of brown crispity crust.
The story of your people told in crust. I'm on board. Make me a believer.
Yeah, they really said this is some good brown crust. I don't know. Is that a true sign of a good pizza? Is a crispity brown bottom?
Not really. No.
Mm-hmm.
I like the flavor of the crust is integral. But if it's a soggy crust, yeah, for sure. I'm just like, well, this pizza kind of sucks.
Yeah, I do, like the aesthetic sort of pancake fry. If the crust has that sort of look, I ain't mad at it. But there's plenty of good pizzas I've had where the bottom just looked like bread color. Just
Sure.
a regular old bread color. I like a crust that has a bit of a flop to it myself. I know we're kind of talking about different genres of pizza at that point.
Right. You don't want the crisp cracker crust every time. Sometimes you like a good dense chew.
Yeah, I kind of like a doughy pie. I like something with a little meal to it. And then when I have that for a while, I'm like, oh, I could really go for a crispity, crackery brown crust. But even when I'm getting the crispity cracker, I'm not like checking the caboose for brown before I take a bite.
Yeah, I'm not. It tastes a little acrid, a little bitter. Did they over brown this sucker? Did it turn into burn territory? Let me pop under the hood and see what's going on. Oh, yep, this sucker's scorched.
Yeah, when it comes to frozen pizza, I like a nice medium rare. If there's any sort of scorchitude, I don't want it.
I want to be very clear. I don't want it to be like overdone Pop-Tart where you bite and it sort of. You know what I mean when I say. Just sort of
even if my corners
apart.
of my Pop-Tarts are getting, this Pop-Tart's garbage.
You gotta maybe you can take the spray. I can't believe it's not butter and sort of lube that up and re-moisturize it just to get some life in there. But yeah,
you don't want a full dip and soak, right?
No.
That would be ridiculous. But yeah, I do not like the British biscuit sort of texture to my dessert. But a pizza, a crackery crunch, I just don't see the brown. It feels wild to me, I guess, that this man was on like a lifetime search for a pizza rock that makes his pizza butt brown. Because that just ain't what I'm looking for. If there's an aesthetically pleasing pizza butt on the bottom of my pizza, that's cool. But yeah, I'm like you. I'm looking for the sound effects, or the what that sounds like. That's giving me a lot more.
Yeah, the flavor more than even if you want the perfect aesthetics. It's the bottom of your meal.
Yeah,
you can't really see it unless you're trying.
Yeah, you can't pizzas aren't like a pancake where you can just sort of flip them on either side and it's the same food. When you flip a pizza over on the plate, it irreversibly becomes something else. Ruined, you might say.
I'm not looking for the perfect pile of spaghetti underneath the sauce. It's like, I don't care what it looks like.
You don't want to eat your pizza like a stir fry. Flip it over, check the brown crust, crunch it up like a taco salad and mix it up. That's fucked up.
Making me sick.
Listen, believer, you made me believe in I'm sick. I believe I'm sick now, dude, because you got weird pizza priorities. Do you have a review with some straighter priorities here?
Yeah.
Or bring us further down the unhinged rabbit hole.
I'm trying to think of which one of these. I've got 3 Google reviews. Do you want food-based or non-food-based? We want to get away from food for a moment here.
Let's get the food out of the way so we don't got to talk about it later.
Okay. I have a Google review here for the Bavarian Beer House. It's somewhere Milwaukee adjacent. I'm not gonna look to what the actual little.
We're not suburb checking here, all right?
No, I'm not gonna have them check their names at the
land
door.
Area.
Yeah, it's a beer house. This, friends, is a review from Daryl Clausen. Maybe he's related to the Pickle Guys, although it's spelled differently.
Oh, no.
Daryl writes, "The pig roast was not good at all for Father's Day. They need to focus on quality. It was very sad and substandard. Probably they need some seasoning to cover over their sins. And the skin needs to be crispy. Period. They should investigate places like Schweissenhaus to learn what to make that can give them consistently good product. 2 stars.
We got a pig roast expert. The pig roast police are in the building, everybody. This guy has got different sensors and meters to check the crispiness.
He's seen it all.
He gets out a little microscope. He puts like a piece of the crispy skin, the chicharron, on the table, and he like smashes it with a really tiny mallet, and then like examines with one of the like a long sort of microscope.
Away, like far too much. Like you had that whole piece and you've ruined it just to get that. You feel like a little bit just sad that something was destroyed so much.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the pig roast was bad. But the focus on the minute details just I feel like discredits the review here. It discredits the worrying so much, saying their lack of seasoning is. He didn't say the lack of seasoning was sinful. That I would have been on board. Okay. They said they needed more seasoning to cover up their sin. That's really a crazy way to frame it.
That is a twisted statement. Have you had the delight that is a pig roast? Have you partaken?
An entire pig roast?
Like the rich kids having a graduation party. They got a whole pig. They got a whole hog.
They got the whole hog. I don't know if I've ever been privy. I feel like I've been to places where more than a whole pig was being consumed. Okay. But it was post roast.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't measured pig by pig.
Right. The pig processing had taken place at a prior location. We just got the tins full of the wreckage.
I can smell it though. Oh, can I smell it?
But no, tell me about it. Tell me.
I mean, it's really cool. You got that big old smoker roaster doohickey, and yeah, like old Bart is just there. He always stands by it. Assuming you dad, whoever's dad it is, hired out old Bart. He's just going to stand there for like 3 or 4 hours. Oh, yeah, the sides are ready. We'll pull them out when the hog's done.
Right, the professional pig watcher.
And you can just smell that sucker getting like, ooh, so good. And then usually they hawk the head off and they just sit it somewhere.
Right, the head is sitting there with an apple in its mouth. That was like
all of this is just fluff and dressing. The point I want to make is that I don't ever remember consuming the skin of said pig.
Oh, right. You didn't get a crackly crack 'em on the skin situation.
I don't remember eating skin at all.
There's no chicharron-esque.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't about the pig skin.
No, the skin. And I see where he's coming from. I like a good piece of chicken with a nice piece of skin done right.
Same, yeah.
Chicharron and pork rinds are cool. I assume that might be part of it, but
that's where I want a bit of a.
Right, that's where the comes in the pig roast. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be at the table like, oh, you did not cheat the roans? You did not blister thine skin of the swine? Well, perhaps you should get some more seasoning to cover your sins.
It is neither crispy nor crunchy.
Bro, just break off a rib, dude. I bet it's bussin'.
Like, if you know a better restaurant that you think this one could copy, that you think they should spy on, why don't you just go to the other restaurant?
Yeah, it's. I think it's a nice thing to say this place is Here's some other places in the area doing what they do right, but the framing, like I said, it just adds some weird discredit to the review. The pompous. I just picture a man in fine robes with a handful of cumin throwing spice at a poor pig.
His first line really tells us who he is. The pig roast was not good at all for Father's Day. This is the type of man who goes out for Father's Day. Not my type of guy.
You like a dad that likes to stay, that couldn't be asked to go out and jump through those hoops on Father's Day.
No, we don't want to get monkey around with all those people.
We love a dad that hates to monkey around.
Of course, we're not going to do that, Gladys.
We got to make a reservation. No, Dad's cooking his own, cheeching his own. If Dad wants chicharron,
he's the best man for the job.
Yeah, he's cheeching his own roan, brother. He's roasting that pig. Our kind of dad. The ideal review party dad.
Thanks, Dad.
Doesn't write passive-aggressive reviews about how their children suck online. roast their own pig on Father's Day.
Yeah, the only thing this dad's roasting is pigs. Maybe some potatoes.
We're having boy dinner for Father's Day. Just steak, potatoes, and beer. That's dad dinner. I got a review, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone who played Banjo-Kazooie knows that sound.
No one.
Yeah.
I got a review here from Amazon for the Gypsy Color, the original 4-light crystal white hardwire flush mount chandelier, H 17.5 inches by width 15 inches. White metal frame with clear glass stem and clear acrylic crystal and beads that sparkle just like glass. From Amazon.
Does it look gypsy-ish?
I don't know. That seems like a... I don't know if I'd call anything gypsy-ish looking.
Sorry. The product is just... we're on slippery moral ground here.
It doesn't look it's sort of exotic in any way to me.
Okay, it just looks like a lamp, thing, chandelier, whatever it's supposed to be.
If someone had this in their house, maybe I would think it was haughty. But maybe I wouldn't think a thing.
You wouldn't, expect to smell incenses and...
It just looks like a fancy white fixture.
This is just a fancy chandelier. Why
is Gypsy Color the brand?
Gypsy, that's
it
strange.
It is.
Shame on them.
Strange color. Yeah, we're absolved of all sins here. We've had spices thrown on our sins. They're the one who named their company Gypsy Color.
That's so weird.
Cheryl Rush titles her review, "Love it!" with a little heart exclamation point emoji, or a little heart with a heart hat, whatever you want to call it. And she got the multicolor one. I'm sure that one's pretty gaudy. "The colors are beautiful, and it is such a cheerful piece. I'm using mine like a hanging basket on the front porch. Cut the chain and wire shorter, and no bulbs. In the morning, the light shines through it, and wow, it looks magical. 5 stars.
You can just buy those little crystals.
Those little crystals, right? Be a lot cheaper just to get those little crystals that are made to be hung and have light shown through them.
Yes, this is like, check out this cool hack where you destroy an existing product just to make something that already exists elsewhere for cheaper that is specifically made for that product.
It's like if you're moving and you need a car to haul a U-Haul. And instead of renting the truck, you rent a Camaro. It's just like you didn't need to do that.
You rent a Camaro, you weld on a trailer hitch, and get a trailer. You're destroying something that is, quote, unquote, nice to get the job done that a simple product can handle.
$100 may not be much to some people for a piece of decor, but this is $100 chandelier. And you're just chopping wires, smashing bulbs. Who are you, Cheryl?
Who are you trying to impress? What?
I think herself with the pretty colors.
Probably, yeah. Okay, whatever. If I'm walking down suburbia, USA, and I see Cheryl on a wraparound porch, she's got a chandelier hanging from it.
A hacked apart chandelier hanging, and she's just... staring at it. I
don't know what to think. Mostly I'm wondering if it will be a good house for Halloween or not. Because it shows she spends money, but also she's kind of white trash.
So your mind gauges what sort of evidence is to this as to how good her house will be for a Halloween visit?
The compass is just spinning around. I can't get a good read on it.
You might have an authentic, terrifying experience, or you might have an authentic, terrifying experience.
Right.
I mean, I think we need some more evidence. Maybe I should click on Cheryl's name if there's any sort of cat product.
Oh.
It's Jover. She has a Mastiff. She's a dog person. Maybe she's cool.
Okay. Maybe she just, chill. Maybe she just doesn't know that they sell little light crystals.
Maybe you just think she's so privileged that she's sort of ignorant to like poor people light prisms.
Yeah. She doesn't know.
She doesn't know. In her world, in her upbringing, they didn't have little wind chimes with pretty little lights in
Valets
them.
parking her car. She didn't know her car had park.
You didn't know you could park it for yourself. You needed special training for that. Well, that's very kind of you. I think she could just be a little wild, a little, a little too willing to take a hacksaw to $100 chandelier, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We got to make the pretty lights go through it.
Stanley comes home. Cheryl, what? Is that from Amazon? That just showed up to what's going on, Cheryl? I'm like artistic.
She just needed a new craft. She couldn't buy a thing without making it her own, making it a craft. See, this is a chandelier, but I am so crafty. I made it worthless.
Because art is priceless.
It's like when people I bought these and these from the dollar store. I cut them up and I made this pretty art.
Yeah,
I bought this old decrepit book from a used bookstore and I used it to make art. Except she's just using $100 shit from Amazon.
Yeah, it's if it makes her happy, then that's great. Otherwise, it is a fruitless pursuit, if you ask me.
I bought this PS5 and I made a little aquarium in it for my lizard.
Oh, that's not even an artistic statement, Cheryl.
When she boots it up, the little lizard, the water turns into a jacuzzi. That would be cool. That might be worth it.
That'd be cool. Yeah, suddenly it's not so cold-blooded. I don't know. I'm trying to help her out.
I thought you were just searching for some sort of lizard, warm-blooded, cold-blooded PlayStation pun, and that's a lot to navigate.
Yeah, I can't do it. Can't do it for her.
Koozie, PlayStation, memory cards. No, yeah, there's nothing there. We've reached the end of our comedy rope. I think we need to take a break.
Let's do it.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening to our lovely little podcast. If you'd like to go above and beyond in supporting our show, or have the most fabulous conversation starter since sliced bread, go to reviewparty.com. Click on shop and explore some fabulous t-shirt designs.
Where's your favorite place to wear a t-shirt?
On my body.
Mine is at the store.
That is a good place to wear a t-shirt. Reviewparty.com. Click shop.
Why stop there?
Don't stop now.
Don't stop me now, because I'm buying a t-shirt. I'm buying a shirt.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second half of the episode, and welcome to something completely random because I found it. So that's what I'm doing. It's my world. You're just living in it.
We own you while you listen to this podcast. If you didn't know that, then I hope you're okay with it because we own you. So if you're not okay with it, that's not really our problem.
So what is it? What is it? I hear you pleading as you're throwing yourself at my feet. What is it? Well, earlier this week when I was developing quote content for this podcast, the episode image for last week's episode, which happened to be a LinkedIn screenshot of a profile for Colonel Harlan Sanders, I happened to discover that this is a true and valid LinkedIn profile for Colonel Harlan Sanders. As in, I'm going to read things from it because this is amazing. From the About section. Everyone thinks I'm a big success, what with inventing the world's best fried chicken and all. But before that, I spent 65 years doing a whole mess of jobs poorly. I was born in 1890 in Henryville, Indiana, and my life just got crazier from there. Here's a little summary that includes some unique aspects of my youth before I became the chicken cooking colonel you know today. I dropped out of 6th grade because I didn't like math, and because I needed to work to earn money to take care of my mother, my brother, and my sister after my father died. I worked on a farm until I was 15. Then I got a job as a streetcar conductor in New Albany, Indiana. Let me read. I didn't read this in advance. I just noticed that this about section was even here. Yeah, he just goes on to say some things, so I'll read that. Forgive me, folks, I cannot remember all the exact dates during which I held these jobs. So there are various skills that are listed.
I love a LinkedIn skills section.
And I love that so many of them, like you might say a skill, I don't know, is skateboarding or ironing or cooking. In the case of the colonel here, everything that would end in ing is instead IN apostrophe. Everything. We got chicken frying.
The man's brand is strong. I can respect that.
Chicken frying, colonelin, lawyering, professionalism, handsome, entrepreneurship, public speaking, writing and such, bucket manufacturing, strategery, baby delivering, storytelling, railroads, white suits, leader of men, kitchen know-how, tying colonel ties, mule tending, pressure cooking, and so on and so on. And there's a lot. I'm not going to go through all of them because what I really want to get to is the job history. I'm going to go in I'm going to go in backwards order. There's a word for that. Anti-chronological? Something like that.
Backwards order.
Backwards order. Reverse.
Cha-cha slide.
We have top listed founder, Kentucky Fried Chicken, January 1955 to present. I guess that's going to be up there forever. He will always be the founder. Prior to that, band leader, Mandolin Band. With the help of some talented musicians from my neighborhood, I assembled the Colonel's Mandolin Band to record some of my favorite gospel hymns. He was a political candidate, vote Harlan Sanders. Governor George Wallace asked if I'd like to run for Vice President of the United States, but I turned him down to cook chicken. Salesman, tire sales company, 1922-1924. One year I was the top salesman in the state. That's good on you, Colonel.
Good. You got. That's one. I don't mind the lack of credentials elsewhere. That's when I'm going to need some picture of a PDF of the award there.
If you want some credentials, this next one, self-employed amateur obstetrician. For 1 month, apparently.
Just a
People
month.
are always surprised to hear that I delivered babies, but back then it was common practice to deliver a baby or two on the side. On the side.
If he was getting paid, I'd put it on there, bro. So the dad like slips you a 20 after you pop that baby out? Is that how that works?
I guess so, yeah.
Colonel world?
I don't know. You just like. You're wheeling your wife down the street. Anybody free right now? She's about $20 for whoever delivers his baby.
Well, shit, I ain't got
when
anything going
free. Well, let's see.
The gloves are already snapping on as he walks over.
That one's not too fun. Yeah, salesman for 1 month. I was a natural salesman, but I did not love what I was selling.
Oh. And that's key to the Colonel. The Colonel's big on passion, if anything.
Student of law for 9 months. The world didn't need another lawyer. The world needed a colonel.
The superhero angle of the origin story there. Really.
He was a fire colonel man, locomotive fireman. It was hot as all get out on them trains. He held that job for almost 2 years.
That's where he learned how to properly temp the chicken. He learned a lot about searing flesh in
My
those
skin
hot
is getting
ovens.
all crispy in here.
What temperature is it right now? We've been in there for 3 hours. Let me check the moisture. That's the chicken temperature.
Ooh, that tastes good. I've got 3 more. He was a laborer, railroad worker. The railroad would always hold a special place in the colonel's heart. And these last 2. Tender of mules. Army mule tender. Description: looked after the mules. And he was a goat milker. Description: milked goats. For 6 years.
I gotta show people, there's a lot of talk about what I should and shouldn't do with my LinkedIn and my resume, how you write that, what you write. I should show the colonel's a lot more successful than I'm probably ever going to be in my whole life. I should show some of these people HR splaining to me how to do my resume, how it's really done by a true entrepreneur, a true businessman and gentleman. And I have it on good authority. He's handsome.
It's a skill.
He's so handsome you could call it a skill.
And people have endorsed that skill as well. I don't quite know how that works, but there are various endorsements for these skills.
I think you can just go on if you have a LinkedIn account, you just go on his account and click endorse.
There's a woodpecker pecking the house right now. Pardon me while I bang the wall. Okay.
You want some chicken?
I'm gonna fry that bird up.
Them legs are a little skinny, but we can work with that. Dip in the fryer.
I kind of want to click connect with the colonel. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I'm afraid.
It depends. I really would like to think that this was the real colonel running this account.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I'm ready to be taken into the chicken cooking cabal that his world must be.
I mean, if having a first degree connection, which that's what they call friends on LinkedIn for some reason.
Okay.
With the colonel would be pretty prestigious. Someone's looking to recruit you for a job. They go on your account, they see connections.
My God.
The Colonel Sanders is staring back at him. If you're going to walk into an interview, so how'd you know the colonel? Tell me a little bit about that. That's interesting.
We go back to the goat milking days.
Don't ask me about. I only got 1 bullet point for goat milking, though.
He delivered my grandfather as a baby, actually.
My grandfather was the one that first sneezed in the gravy. Added a special ingredient.
By God, get away from my gravy. So that's that. If you're curious, by all means, check out Harlan Sanders on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I mean, you can probably hit him up for some career advice. I'm sure he's looking to network.
Like, is Ronald McDonald out there on LinkedIn? I don't know.
Not the real one. That's the thing. There's an authenticity that the Colonel's madness sort of lends to him.
Yeah.
No Ronald was ever unhinged enough to take their brand into their own hands the way the Colonel does. It's both sickening and inspiring, that man and his legacy. Man, we gotta get into those Colonel Sanders commercials. We gotta be Colonel Sanders.
I would love it.
Have they ever done one with 2 of them in it?
I don't know.
We're finger licking good. We could kind of be sexy. We could be the sexy Colonel Sanders.
Okay, I can report there is a Ronald McDonald LinkedIn, marketing director at McDonald's Corporation. Only 1 job listed as experience and 3 skills.
Yeah, I think the Colonel's got him beat.
You think you're hot stuff, McDonald's? Colonel Harlan Sanders is putting you to shame.
And I'm pretty sure it wasn't even Ronald who invented those recipes. I'm pretty sure he's just a fucking clown that dances around.
He is a clown for sure. Found that out today.
It's Grimace who should be the face of that organization. He's a taste bud.
Is that what he really is?
I think that's what he canonically is supposed to be. He's a big taste bud.
That's startling.
As in the taste bud. He's your taste bud.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it's really McDonald's mascots are really unhinged. The Hamburglar and the Ronald. I see what they're going. Ronald McDonald, Hamburglar. Okay, you're sort of making funny little tropey kids, like fairy tale characters, clowns and burglars. It sort of ends there. Then they become anthropomorphic science experiments.
Yeah, that duck thing.
Mayor McCheese. His life's got to be suffering. His organs are not put together in any sort of good way.
Whatever those little puff balls were, I don't know.
I think they're supposed to be French fries, like the puffs of French fries. But yeah, I'm not sure if that's true.
Originally called the Goblins, they were known for stealing French fries.
For slobbing on gobs.
Then they became the Fry Guys, then the Fry Kids. Okay.
No, they're just kids, all right? They're just innocent children made of French fries. Are they sentient? Do they have souls? Ronald cannot say. He won't tell you.
Can they feel pain when you eat them?
Does Grimace scream out in pain as he's suffocated under a shake? As him and a million other Grimaces living on your tongue.
Help me.
Grimace, there needs to be a zoom out, like when Buzz Lightyear, it zooms out and he sees all the buzzes. It's just a Grimace and he's on a tongue. And someone's licking a butt. This is what you wanted from me, Ronald?
Oh.
Okay, I got a review to get us away from where that one's going. Thanks, Colonel. May you rot in hell. Michelle Hobbs has a Amazon review for large no trespassing signs, private property, metal 10 by 14 inch rust aluminum, UV ink printing, durable, weatherproof, up to 7 years, outdoor for home. They're just big private property, no trespassing sign.
Okay.
Michelle titles their review, No Trespassing Signs. They write, I have 45 acres of farmland, and we have been having issues with people walking the creeks and finding their ways into our barns. I put these signs up, hopefully, to warn people that they are not allowed on our property. Hopefully they work. 5 stars.
Or you could lock your barn.
You might want to lock your barn.
There's various phrases about barns and like
open doors
being open. Yeah. Barn doors open like barn door. If the door gets left open, people say, "Were you raised in a barn?"
It's not like, the animals are losing or gaining access with them being locked. They don't have thumbs. They can't use the doors already. You're already sort of shepherding them around.
It's the people that's the problem.
It's the people, and they made this thing for the people called locks. And they made these things for property called fences. And I know when you have acres of farmland, it's not practical to make a compound for your land. That's a little silly. But yeah. What are these people just walking? Are these like forest people walking creeks and getting in the barns? Hey. Are we dealing with fairies or something?
And there's some cosmic force that is just pulling people into the barns. Like it's your job as the homesteader to keep these people out.
To sort of design your stead, just to intrinsically make people not want to go into your barn.
Yeah, don't make some sort of some cosmic. They're like moths just being drawn to it. They don't know why.
You think he just like designed a really beautiful forest path that leads up to the barn? There's treats and snacks on the side.
I would walk that path. I would walk that creek bed. Oh, is this where I'm supposed to go?
The barn actually has a thread, a fishing line with a $100 bill attached to it that is luring people through the forest into the barn. You might want to get rid of that first.
By any chance, do you have pies sitting on an open windowsill? That might have something to do with the problem.
They just come floating in on the visible scent gas that is on the wind.
That, or I don't know, like, is the side of the barn painted with hot ladies?
Hot ladies.
People just kind of want to walk up and stare at it.
When you go to the top of the barn, is it sort of like a penthouse suites for like secretly love making that travelers, may want to partake in?
Yes, and they have to keep extra quiet while you're baling hay below.
Yeah, it's, everyone wants to have a role in the hay, especially when the outside of your barn has a big neon sign on it that says, come have a night here.
Come have a good time.
Come roll, hoe down city. That's what it says.
Yeah, from the sound of it, there's just something too tempting, too alluring about this barn.
There's something really good about this barn that's making people just show
really
up.
Good. I don't know, they could Guns N' Roses music.
They're
like, yeah, all right, yeah, walk over there.
That might be a guy in a Kentucky Fried Chicken hat or something doing a solo in there. Gotta check that out. Yeah, because when I live in northern Wisconsin, I drive around and I see barns all the time. I don't really care to be in or around them any more than I have to be. I wouldn't go out of my way. So there's got to be. You're right. There's got to be something about this barn. Yeah.
I see barns too. I don't generally see people just sort of aimlessly, not necessarily aimlessly, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like not under their own power, just drifting towards a barn.
People with aim and people without aim. I see neither of them going into these barns. People drawn by the universe or by whim. Either way, barn is not on the list.
Yeah, and I'm not sure a sign, no trespassing private property is really going to cut it.
Really going to cut whatever cosmic, otherworldly magnetism that this barn has.
If I'm walking a dry creek bed and I'm like, hey, let's look for arrowheads. Wow, I found one. Wow, I found one too. Maybe if we keep following this, we'll find an entire ancient settlement. Maybe it's in that barn. I don't know. I gotta know.
You gotta know what's going on in the barn.
Gotta know. Maybe there's a UFO. I don't know.
It could be.
It's a pretty big barn.
Does your barn look like a barn that would have a UFO in it? In which case, you might just want to redesign the barn.
Is your barn red? Because I don't know.
Does it have a big target that says aliens stop here? Visitors check out alien ships? If anything, the no trespassing sign just makes it cooler. Makes the barn more alluring, doesn't it?
That adds to the experience.
Plenty of signs around here to pretend not to see while we wander into this cool barn that's inexplicably cool.
I'm gonna crouch under this. Oh, look at that.
Not in the barn. This is sick. Oh no, that guy has a shotgun.
What's your deal, man? We're just checking out the barn. Oh, is this your barn? Hey, man, props.
Hey, maybe you should put some signs up.
I don't think that was for me.
I think that was for. I thought we were cool like that. That was your cool community barn.
It's just so pretty,
I like the red. Do you have a quickie?
I got a quickie. Yeah. I think we'll have some reactions to it. This is a Google review for Nothing Bundt Cakes. You ever had a Nothing Bundt Cake?
I've had a bundt cake, but I have not had a Nothing Bundt Cake.
They're pretty good. But Tasha Johnson doesn't think so. Tasha writes, I was in there last week and bought 3 cakes and wanted to eat one in my car and asked one of the girls before leaving if they had a fork. And she had the nerves to say, we are not a restaurant. Excuse me? If you sell food of any kind, you should have silverware. Rude. 1 star.
See, I would get this shit when I worked at a grocery store. We were like a health food grocery store, and we didn't really sell like plates and utensils. And people like would stay at the hotel and they'd come into the grocery store and they would get pissed at me because we didn't have plastic bowls. And I would be like, or they would be like, do you have paper plates? And I'd be like, oh, there's some paper plates back there. We don't really have utensils though. And they're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
You just don't have one for me? And I'm like, no, it's in a restaurant. It's a grocery store.
Which makes sense. Yeah, primarily, especially if it is a health food store, it's not like a Target or something.
Yeah, we don't got
it's
everything. We're specialized here, my guy.
We're selling all sorts of fruits and nuts and various pastas, but hey.
And what is a bakery if not a specialized store? And if it ain't a cafe, then I don't think you eat the baked goods on location. I think that's the clear, very clear, broad line between a bakery and a place where you eat baked goods is the cafe.
Donuts or something. If they were selling coffee as well, this is literally let me remind everyone, including Tasha, of the name of the store. Nothing but cakes.
Right. There's not going to be silverware.
Not going to be coffee, not going to be tea. There will be nothing but bunt cakes.
I'm picturing the place in my mind too. Because, you walk into a bakery and you know the vibe of, is this a bakery I can eat at? Or is this not? Right away. Right when you walk in. Like the bakery in my hometown, that is a not you don't eat here bakery. It's a pickup bakery. It's literally it's like a jewelry store. It's just like a room with a glass case. You go in and tell them what you want and you leave.
There's no seat. There's no little table.
No.
You're just this is it, huh?
It's just a room with a carpet, glass cases with the shit in it that you want. A door to the back.
Yeah, the back is that's where they're baking everything.
Right. It's sad we have to explain that to this woman.
They've not. Most of this building is for the baking, not for the eating.
Right.
None of it's for the eating.
They do not want to pay someone to clean up after your ass after you fucking make a mess of that bundt cake.
Leave a little fork, little cream cheese frosting smeared on the table.
Yeah, and maybe the worker there answered with a little bit too much vitriol, but I'm sure she gets that shit a lot, and she's tired of people thinking that this is a damn restaurant.
It's nothing but cakes.
I'm just imagining someone getting a birthday cake and bringing the whole party and asking
spreading out a plastic table cover over the hood of their Ford Taurus. Yeah, we're eating in the parking lot. You got forks and a knife and a serving.
Yeah, do you have one of those big serving knives for us?
No, this is just take your cake and get out of here.
Get out of here.
We're done here, okay?
Yeah, respect. Yeah, I'm big on that. It's not hard to tell what type of business a type of business is. And there's nothing anyone that works there can do to change the business for what you want it to be.
Mm-mm.
You can't go into Target and ask the kid in the freezer section to make you some sashimi. It's not what they do there.
It's not going to happen.
You can't go into Walmart and ask them to cut lumber. They don't have, it's not what's going on. The logistics are not in place. And that can be something as big as Walmart doesn't have a thing to cut lumber, and something as small as, we don't carry forks. Because it's not just carrying a fork for a lady that needs it. It's ordering forks every month, keeping the fork inventory, throwing away forks that are old and dirty because there's laws that make you do that type of stuff. And then you're losing money, and you're losing money keeping track of how much you have and doing the orders and shipping.
No.
It's just, no, they don't do that. They bake the damn bundt cakes, and they bake nothing but bun to them.
I'm glad we came down on that side of it.
I want nothing but a cake now. That review did the opposite of what she wanted. I want the cake more. But what I want more is to finish this damn podcast. It's over, people. Thank you for listening to reviewparty.com episode 163. We're going to have 164 next week, probably dropping Tuesday morning, because we drop a new episode every Tuesday morning. That's right. # Tuesday Reviews Day. Isn't that cute?
So cute.
It's so cute. You know what else is cute? sending us a funny review that you think is funny, that you think we could say some funnies after we read it. Send it in to one place you can send it is reviewparty.com@gmail.com. And leave a little moniker, a little name, a little code name. You like say, call me Dragon78 afterwards, and we'll do it.
And we'll love it.
Love it.
Or, you know where else you can send us reviews? You can send them to us on the social medias of the day, like Instagram and TikTok, where you can find us at reviewparty.com. Or you can find us on that other app that people have been calling X recently. Makes me a little sick to my stomach to even say that, but we're at Review Party Pod there. So
when they changed it to X, Elon forgot that all the verbiage on the site was like Twitter themed, like tweets and retweets. So it took a couple days for him to change that too. But now we repost, dude. The strongest brand in social media ever, and now we're reposting.
Crumbled. Ugh.
Frozen up.
Well, speaking of strong brands, you can find the strongest review podcast brand at reviewparty.com.
You can tell because of the blue.
How much blue? So much blue. There's so much blue there. Confetti, balloons, they're all there.
You can go there and blue yourself. Either way, you're having a good time.
Or you can read the blog where reviews are written about in some way, shape, or form. You can find all the episodes that have ever existed since the beginning of time for this podcast. The listening platforms. There's a shop if you want to check that out. And there's a little sign up for a newsletter if you feel like, I don't know, you want something other than ads showing up in your email. Do that.
Yeah, Matt's weekly email is way better than, hey, here's the same shit that's been on sale for the last 7 weeks. We got to remind you for the 18th time.
In case you missed it.
Matt's never going to tell you the same shit, except it's kind of going to be the same shit every week, but it's kind of going to be new. Kind of like this podcast. Kind of like listening to some Nosebleeds Bread for Breakfast. You've heard that song throughout the episode. It's pretty good, huh? We're generously allowed to use it for a theme song by the Homeboys, Nosebleeds. Look them up on Spotify. Nosebleeds, one word. I got a review to finish us out. This one's funny. That's why I got it, I guess. This is an Amazon review for the Xbox Wireless Core Controller Blue. It's the Xbox One controller. This one is... excuse me. The color being reviewed is Stellar Shift. Stellar Shift. I don't know why it linked me to the blue, but it's like a... well, you know, in the two-tone cars, when you look at it from one angle, it's blue, and the other angle, it's purple. It's like that on controller. Very cool. But don't take it from me. Take it from Seabull420. They title it Very Nice. They write, this product deserves a Borat Very Nice and an Owen Wilson Wow. Looks cooler in person. Probably the best looking controller I own as of now. 5 stars.
But something could look better. Darn.
What is like above a Borat Nice and an Owen Wilson Wow? What other, I don't know. I don't speak only in memes like this guy.
You could do like the Will Ferrell character from Zoolander. Dear God, it's beautiful. One of those.
Yep.
It's not as memeified.
I think it would just be epic. It's an epic tier is what we're freaking epic is what's next.
Oh yeah.